Thumbelina. There was once a poor woman who lived in a cottage. She was alone in the world, but wished for a child to love and be her family. One day, she visited a fairy to ask for help.
"You are a good woman,"
said the fairy.
"so I will give you this magic seed. Plant it and water it, and you will see what you will see."
The woman thanked the fairy and did as she was told. 3 days passed and nothing happened. But on the 4th day, a tiny green shoot appeared. And on the 5th day, there was a flower bud with glossy pink petals wrapped tightly around its center.
"What a beautiful flower you will be,"
smiled the woman, and she kissed it gently. With that, the petals unfolded, and in the center of the flower was a beautiful girl, the size of a thumb. The woman clapped her hands with joy.
"I will call you Thumbelina,"
she cried. She laid her new child in a walnut shell bed with a rose petal quilt. Thumbelina was very happy with her mother. But one day while her mother was away, an ugly, slimy toad crawled into the cottage. When she saw Thumbelina sleeping in her tiny bed, she croaked,
"You'd be the perfect wife for my son."
She grabbed the girl and crept out of the cottage. When Thumbelina woke up, she was sitting on a lily pad in the middle of a stream, with 2 warty toads staring at her.
"This is your new wife,"
the mother said to her son. He opened his wide, toothless mouth in a grin, but all he could say was, "Croak, croak."
"I don't want to marry a toad,"
said Thumbelina, and she started to cry.
"How ungrateful,"
the mother toad scolded.
"You'll stay here until you stop crying."
The 2 toads jumped into the water and swam away. Thumbelina sobbed and sobbed. After an hour or so, a passing fish took pity on her and nibbled through the lily pad's stem until it floated free.
"Thank you,"
called Thumbelina as she sailed downstream. At last, she drifted to the riverbank and climbed onto dry land. Suddenly, a big black beetle grabbed her with its claws.
"Put me down,"
said Thumbelina.
"No,"
said the beetle.
"you must marry me."
The beetle carried Thumbelina to a clearing. Another bigger beetle was waiting for him there. He looked at Thumbelina and shook his head.
"Oh, Birdie, she's so ugly,"
said the bigger beetle.
"If you marry her, everyone will laugh at you."
The 2 beetles argued, waving their claws in the air and pulling poor Thumbelina this way and that, until at last they let Thumbelina go. She ran off as fast as she could. Thumbelina lived in the country all summer long. She missed her mother but had no idea how to find her way home. So she busied herself collecting wild berries and making friends with the birds and small creatures she met. When winter came, Thumbelina was cold and hungry until a kind field mouse invited her to stay with him in a burrow he shared with his friend Mole. She was so grateful that she said yes at once. Life underground was warm and snug, but Thumbelina missed the sunshine. And like so many others, Mole soon became enchanted by her beauty and asked for Thumbelina's hand in marriage.
"I don't want to marry a mole,"
cried Thumbelina.
"and though I like living with you, Mouse, I miss the sunshine."
"You ungrateful girl,"
said the mouse. So Thumbelina sadly agreed to marry the mole, and the date was set for the following summer. Thumbelina was miserable. Then one day, as she walked through the underground tunnels, she found a swallow, almost dead from the cold. She hugged the bird against herself to warm him. He slowly opened his eyes.
"You have saved my life,"
said the swallow.
"I flew into a storm while I was traveling south to the land of sunshine and flowers. Come with me."
"I cannot leave Mouse.
Sighed Thumbelina.
He has been so kind to me, and I have promised to marry Mole."
"Do you want to marry this mole?"
asked the swallow.
"Well, no,"
admitted Thumbelina.
"Then it's settled,"
said the swallow, stretching his wings.
"Come with me."
I will,
said Thumbelina. So Thumbelina flew away to the south with the swallow. As she explored her new home, one especially beautiful flower opened in front of her. There, in the center, was a fairy prince no bigger than a thumb.
I've been waiting for you my whole life. Will you come live among the flowers with me?
He asked at once.
I will,
Cried Thumbelina. Finally, Thumbelina, wearing butterfly wings made especially for her, married the prince and became princess of the flower fairies. She did not forget her mother, and that very day arranged for fairy messengers to deliver a letter to her and a bouquet of the most beautiful flowers. Kind Thumbelina and her handsome fairy prince lived happily ever after. The end.